Bingo. Number 1 on the hot sheet.
Call it and I'll go check it out.
Ludlow 9 to control. Request wants or warrants on reported stolen vehicle. Bearing license number 864, Ocean Robert Edward.
Ludlow 9, roger.
Why don't you hang in? I'll go have a look around. I'm satisfied.
The money.
Count the money so we can get out of here.
Take it easy. Don't rush me.
You don't have to caress it. We made a deal. I want to get the deal done with and get out of here.
Ludlow 9 to control. Officer needs assistance. Gunshots being fired at 622 West 16th Street.
Ludlow 9, roger.
Police, hold it!
Do you hear that? Now you got no place to go. So why don't you be smart and throw those guns out? Help yourselves while you can. Come on, throw the guns out. Come on!
The actual cash on hand for the buy was close to $1 million, but The street value of the heroin itself, after it's cut several times, would be around 30 million.
Wasn't two of your rookie officers responsible for recovering the heroin?
Yes, that's correct. Officers Owens and Webster. They apprehended several suspects in addition to confiscating the heroin.
Can you describe exactly how the officers found out the heroin transfer was in progress?
Well, why don't you ask the men themselves? Owens, Webster?
Lieutenant, Officer Owens was actually the man responsible for recovering the heroin, and I think he could best describe this situation.
Okay, Owens, come over here.
The star is born.
Can you tell us what happened, Officer Owens?
And the last suspect was escaping to the rear of the factory. I spotted him, gave pursuit, and was lucky enough to recover the heroin when he lost control of it. I guess you could just say I was at the right place at the right time.
Officer Christopher Owens, just a short time out of the police academy and already performing like a veteran. In other news today, the State Department...
You got yourself a problem, Martin. A rather sizable problem.
I swear I don't know how the police were tipped off.
Nevertheless, it happened. The police are now in possession of the heroin and the $970,000 we were to pay for it. Now, that's a loss I can't afford, my friend. You'll either replace the $970,000 or the heroin.
And if I can't?
You know the answer to that, don't you, Martin? All right, then. Since we both understand that it's your life we're talking about, you can afford to take bold measures. The police are as vulnerable as anyone else. If you're intelligent enough in your approach to the situation.
If you have something in mind, Mr. Brougham, I'd like to hear it.
The heroin is being held at the 17th precinct. At some point, they'll be transferring it downtown. You determine the exact time of the evidence transferal, and it could all be deceptively simple.
But who would have that information?
The rookie cop we've been watching on television. As the officer who sees the heroin, he'd have to identify the evidence and sign it out before it's moved to another location. You find a way to get to that cop, Martin, and we find a way to get our heroin back.
Webster and Owens? Owens, I'm just curious. Are you enjoying all the fuss that's being made over you?
Well, yes, sir, I guess I am.
Well, that's understandable. Little glamour in the life of a uniformed officer never hurt anyone. I just don't want you to get the idea that that's the way it's going to be from here on out. I want you to keep a level head in your hour of glory, so the Skid Row detail that you and Webster have been working on, I'm extending it for 2 weeks.
You okay?
I don't know. I'm just shook up a bit. I don't think anything's broken. It's all my fault. I must have been daydreaming or something.
I'll call for a T-car and handle the traffic.
Stewardess?
Yes. Look, I really am sorry.
Hey, better a lot of metal gets busted up instead of us. Right?
I guess.
Can I see your driver's license?
Of course. Honestly, I really feel terrible about this.
Well, Miss March, I have seen better driving.
You won't get any argument from me there.
Can you step out of the car?
I think so.
Terry, call for an ambulance.
You made quite an impression. The young lady can't get over what a fine, considerate police officer you are.
Well, that's the way we're supposed to be, right? She all right?
Yeah. Dr. Conrad wants to keep her overnight for observation, just in case.
I don't blame him. I wouldn't mind keeping her overnight for observation myself.
Oh, 303 if you happen to be interested.
I am. Tell Terry I'll be right back.
You know, I still don't know your name.
Chris Owens. But it's Officer Owens until I finish giving you a citation for running a stop sign. Sign on the bottom line, please. Now it's Chris. Sorry, but there's no way around that one. Now, would you mind telling me why you were driving through that part of town?
You mean, what was a nice girl like me doing in a place like that?
Something like that.
It's a shortcut from the airport to my apartment. I guess it could be a risky neighborhood to be in.
I don't think there's any doubt about it.
You know, you're really fouling up my image of a cop.
In what way?
You're too nice.
Well, it must be the uniform. Because when I change into civvies, I turn into a very unpleasant fellow.
I don't believe it.
You don't?
No.
When you get out of here, why don't you have dinner with me? And you'll see the transformation right before your very eyes.
It's a deal. But only if you let me by. I want to do something to thank you for taking care of me. Phone me tomorrow?
About 6?
6. Outside line, please.
Yes.
It's Judy.
How did it go after the accident?
Martin, I almost killed myself with that crazy stunt of yours.
A little fender bender never hurt anybody. Besides, you're getting well paid for whatever risk there was. Now, what did you arrange?
We're having dinner tomorrow night.
Ah, that's a good start. Bring him here. I guarantee the service will be first rate.
Martin, I still don't know what this is all about.
You will. Just be very good to him, Judy. To make it work, we need him to trust you completely. Every step of the operation's already been planned.
You're certain the heroin is still at the precinct?
I've had it watched. And it's not likely they'll transfer on the weekend. So we're good for at least another couple days.
Then it all seems to hinge upon this young woman's persuasiveness with this Owens.
I'm following your example and not allowing her any margin for failure. She'll come through, believe me. If she doesn't, she knows she's in trouble.
If she doesn't, Martin, you're the one who's in trouble.
All right. One day with a pretty girl and he turns into Cary Grant. Judy.
Does that mean I pass inspection?
Sure does.
Yeah.
Not bad at all for a country boy.
Dinner with Judy, right?
You got it. See you guys in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Bye.
Woo! Sure is pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. What's the matter? Something bugging you? Something to do with Chris and Judy?
If I knew, I'd tell you. Come on, let's grab a six-pack for someone or something.
quite a place.
Does that mean you like it or you don't like it?
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm on a cop's salary.
Don't be silly.
And I don't see how you can afford it on a stew's pay either.
You're right, I can't. But I have a trust fund that more than matches what I make as a stewardess. Doesn't mean I'm rich, but money's never been much of a problem. In fact, there's enough for both of us.
Is that a proposition?
It's the age of the liberated woman. And that's supposed to liberate men in case the news hasn't reached you. Except for the ones with the big macho problems.
Macho?
Yeah. The guys who have to prove their masculinity all the time by making all the decisions and being the big provider. I mean, look, if I want to do something that costs a lot, why shouldn't I pay for it? The rest of the time, there shouldn't be a problem. I just want us to be together. Martin, I like him. And what I don't like is leading him on. Now, just what is it you want me to do?
It's simple enough. The police are holding a large quantity of heroin at our friend's precinct. He'll be involved in the transfer of it downtown for trial. I need to know the exact time of that transfer.
You have to be kidding.
I'm not.
Martin, I've done a few little things for you, but this...
Things for which you have been generously paid.
But drugs, the police, you can't ask me to get involved in anything like this.
You already are, Judy.
I won't do it.
You don't have a choice, doll. Without that information, I am dead. And if I'm dead, I promise the same thing is in store for you.
You know, you're a novelty for me. I've never dated a cop before.
Just kind of rounding out your experience, huh?
You could say that.
Well, if I have to be a test case, at least it's in a good cause. Now, enough about me. I want to know something about you. How did you wind up going to school in Europe when you were raised in Texas?
No, born in Texas. Raised all over the place, including Europe. I was an army brat. Moved with my family wherever my father was stationed. Hey, look, my life is a bore compared to yours. What's it like, police work?
Routine. Daily patrol, filling out reports, waiting around for court appearances.
Routine. Like recovering all that heroin.
Luck.
What do they do with something that valuable?
Get rid of it.
You mean destroy it?
Eventually. Now, how come you're so interested?
Because I'm a grasping, greedy female who wants to know every detail of your life. Know why?
You're wild about me.
Right.
Because I'm such a novelty.
Right. Oh.
It's perfect timing.
I don't have to answer it. The machine will.
I hate talking to machines. You're gonna put me through that when I call you?
When I know you're gonna call, I'll leave a very sexy greeting. Tell me more about your work.
What do you want to know?
Finish telling me about the heroin.
But I did finish.
No, you said eventually it was destroyed. What happens up until then?
Well, tomorrow goes to the crime lab for analysis. Later at the trial, a sample is submitted in evidence. After that, it's destroyed. Simple? Hey, what's the matter?
Chris, I do care for you very much. You believe that, don't you?
Yeah, come on, what's wrong?
Just not used to feeling so much for one person.
As long as I'm that person, you have nothing to worry about. Right?
Right.
Okay.
Sergeant Stevens and Shea from Narco. This is Officers Owens and Webster. They'll be your escort. Okay.
Mr. Beauty,
That's it.
what's your identity mark?
An O with a line through it. You'll find it next to the bottom hinge.
Same mark on the contents?
Corner of each packet.
How many packets?
14. One is patched from sampling.
Let's go through it.
It's all there.
I'll read it and sign it. Lieutenant? Gentlemen, please. Witness. All yours.
Our pleasure. Let's go.
Moving north on Summer in a tan, four-door Galaxy. Black and white escort.
Roger. I'm heading for 5th.
Now approaching 5th.
Summer and Pine Street. Pulling in about 2 blocks ahead of you. You should spot my truck any time now.
See what I can do. Okay, Brian. Go.
Okay, now.
Move it like that. You get out. Up against that car and spread him.
needn't worry, it's all there.
I don't doubt it for a moment.
When do we make the sale?
We have to move it by this weekend. However, our buyer presents a slight problem. He's out of the country and won't come here because of the heat over what's happened. The only proposition he'll agree to is for us to take it to him.
If we use your private jet.
Even then, we run a certain risk. Don't forget, we humiliated the police. Their security is likely to be especially heavy at all air terminals. Even private flights could be searched. We have to allow for that possibility.
Then what do you suggest?
The young lady who got the information for you. Tell me about her.
Judy March? I've used her to smuggle in hot jewelry from Europe when she had overseas duty.
You're certain she can be trusted?
Let's just say that in this case, fear breeds trust. Why do you ask?
I think someone as capable as that can be put to good use. She might even turn out to be the key to solving our present problem.
Gatsby. Saturday night at home for once?
Yeah, well, Judy's on a layover to New York. She won't be back until Monday.
Come in, come in.
You got a minute?
Sure. Thought you said that Judy gave you the key to her place. That you were going to be spending weekends in the marina, whether she was in town or not.
Yeah, I know. Terry, that heist yesterday. The detective who was killed.
Yeah?
Oh, man, I don't even know where to begin. Wouldn't believe what's going on in my head right now.
What about the heist?
Okay. Who knew about the evidence transfer? Outside the department, I mean.
Well, nobody outside the department, which is what's bugging me. Because that info had to come from somebody on the inside. We were set up. Yeah.
Here you guys are. Listen, Jill's holding dinner for you. Aren't you guys interested in a little pot?
That hit on us yesterday. Chris has a notion.
The night before they hit us, I was explaining about police work to Judy. And I happened to mention some things. I mean, I remember telling her about the heroin being transferred to the lab for analysis. But what I don't remember is if I said tomorrow or not. Now, it could have slipped out, but I just don't remember.
Well, let's hope that you didn't tell her when it was going to be picked up.
Man, I've gone over it 20 times. I mean, she just seemed interested in what I did, my work. But the heroin thing in particular did interest her.
tomorrow night, and I want you to come. But listen, don't bring a date. I've got some guys I want you to meet. Call me the minute you get in, okay?
Judy, it's Mother. Oh, we haven't heard from you for so long, we got worried. Is everything all right? Call us collect, would you, dear? We love you.
Hi, babe. I just wanted to tell you how good I feel and that you're on my mind. I'll miss you while you're gone. Call me when you get back.
Judy, it's Martin. I want to congratulate you on the job you did for us yesterday. Somebody very high up is especially impressed. Contact me as soon as you return. It's important. Judy, it's Martin. I want to congratulate you on the job you did for us yesterday. Somebody very high up is especially impressed. Contact me as soon as you return. It's important.
Chris, what a surprise. Aren't you working today?
I am working.
Glad to see you. Something wrong?
I don't know, is there?
I want to know what's going on.
So do I, Judy. Isn't there something you want to talk about?
Like what?
Okay, let's start with Martin. Who is he?
I don't know any Martin.
You're a liar, Judy. Martin left a message on your answering machine.
You listen to my messages? Why?
Have you ever heard of voice prints? Same principle as fingerprints. Your friend Martin, his voice print checked out. Our narcotics division has a full rundown on him. The voice on your tape matches the print they have. However you're involved, Judy, you're in way over your head. Martin and his friends are not lightweights. They play tough and they play for keeps.
Chris,
You're working for Martin, aren't you? You were working for him when you pumped me for information. Now tell the truth.
Yes, but Chris, it's not what you think.
Gotta say you're good. You sucked me in, set me up, played me. You even had me thinking it was real.
It was real. Not the way it started, but I didn't know how I was going to feel, and I didn't know how they were going to use the information. Chris, you've got to believe that.
Miss March, I'm Lieutenant Riker. I have a warrant to search and seize. After what we've heard, I think you should avail yourself of an attorney. Miss March, I ran a check on you, and as you stated, you have no prior arrests. You have a good work record. You come from a fine family background now. How'd you happen to get involved in all this?
It seemed like sophisticated fun at first. Martin would pay me more money than I'd ever seen for bringing jewelry into the country, to avoid the customs. I didn't think we were hurting anyone.
What about drugs?
Never. Not until now.
Why now?
Martin said I'd be killed if the heroin wasn't recovered.
Martin, would that be his first name or his last name?
I thought you knew about him. The voice print?
There was no voice print.
Fact is, Miss March, we know absolutely nothing about him at all unless you tell us something.
Martin St. John. He manages a restaurant. I met him there through another stewardess. It was a business arrangement, so I don't know much more about him. He said the less I knew, the better.
Your involvement led to the commission of a felony and the death of a police officer. So you are an accessory to felony murder. We need your help. I cannot make any promises as to the disposition of your case, however.
Of course. I understand. I'll do anything you ask me.
Owens? Well, Owens, how's it feel to go from hero to patsy and nothing flat?
Lieutenant, I don't think anything you can say can be any worse than what I've already told myself.
Don't underestimate me, Owens. I have a whole repertoire of things to say to you. How do you feel about the lady, Owens, after what's happened?
How do I feel? I don't understand.
I'm not going to book her as long as she can be of any use to us. I see you having a date with her this evening and again tomorrow night and the next night if necessary.
Why?
We need the continuity of your relationship with her so that nothing looks suspicious to Martin and his friends. From what she has told us, I gather that she's still very much a part of their plans. What do you think, Owens? Can you handle it?
I can try.
Okay. That's all I need from either of you. Owens, you've been conned by some top-notch professionals. Now, if you want to chastise yourself, be my guest, but remember one thing. You weren't so dumb as they were smart. You dig?
Guy at the end of the bar?
Yes. Are the ground rules in order?
Ground rules for what?
Dealing with each other. You know, we're supposed to look convincing.
I guess I'm just confused.
About me?
You, me, everything. Being here together like this, it's real and not real all at the same time.
Chris, I've got nothing to gain by lying to you. You believe that, don't you?
I guess I do.
I just want you to know I didn't pretend anything I felt. If the car accident hadn't been phony, it would have wound up the same way.
Come on now, pull yourself together. You're right, we are supposed to be convincing. So just go on over there and try to get it over with.
I feel so funny with this recording equipment on.
Now, don't worry. There's no way he's gonna know you're wired. Just try to get him to talk as much as you can.
Okay.
You look happy, doll.
Just plain relief showing through.
Which I certainly share. No hard feelings?
Maybe a few. I can't pretend I like having my life threatened.
Well, let me start to make that up to you right now. This is yours.
Feels like more than just my next car payment.
Enough to send you back to Houston in style. 20,000 cash.
That does make up for a lot.
I thought it might. Any problem with your young man?
He seemed glad to see me when I got back. I don't think it would occur to him that I'm mixed up with what happened.
Being in love can work miracles. I gather you intend to go on seeing him.
Yes, I want to.
Good. To suddenly drop him could lead to dangerous second thoughts.
You've made quite an impression on somebody very important.
So you said.
He could do a lot for you.
Martin, I'm not getting mixed up in anything like I've just been through. Once is enough.
Oh, that's too bad. What we had in mind would make what you've just been paid look like a down payment.
It would depend on what I have to do.
I can't tell you anything yet. But I can promise you it's an extremely simple assignment. When's your next flight?
Friday.
That sounds about right. I'll phone you tomorrow with the details. Do we have a deal or not?
We have a deal.
The girl will enter the airline terminal here. She is wired, and she will communicate her instructions as she receives them.
Flight 407 now boarding at gate 12. Flight 407 is now ready for boarding at gate 12.
She's in, sir.
Attention all personnel. The subject has just entered the terminal. We are now on alert status. Maintain your present position until notified otherwise.
Relax, you'll do okay.
Passengers for flight 402 are advised there will be a 15-minute delay. Repeat, passengers for flight 402 are advised there will be a 15-minute delay.
All right, Judy. While we're on this call, someone will place an identical suitcase next to yours.
You're to leave your suitcase and take the substitute through security. Once that's done, the rest will be easy. Call this number again as soon as you clear security.
All right, I understand. The call was patched through the number Martin gave me. I don't know where. I've been given a duplicate suitcase to take through security. After that, I'm to phone him again.
Flight 409 is now ready for boarding at gate 13.
I'm here.
15-minute delay. Repeat, passengers for flight
Yes, I understand.
are advised there will be a 15-minute delay.
It's a private jet coming in on runway 4. I'm to meet them at the general aviation hangars for the delivery.
All right, the target is a private jet taxiing on runway 4. The connection will be made in the general aviation area. Red Force, move into position. All others, stand by. It's Code 5 to Control Tower. Do you read me?
Roger, Code 5.
I want you to suspend takeoff clearance for all private jet aircraft until further notice.
Keep me right on top of them.
So this is the talented young woman.
And right on time. Glad you could join us, Judy.
Wait a minute. She's wired.
All units move in.
Police, halt!
Thanks for coming. Feels like I'm putting more than my furniture in storage.
Your sentence was suspended. You know, I still don't understand why you're doing this. What if I told you I needed you?
A convicted felon? That's something you don't need.
That part of it doesn't matter.
It does to me. And it would to you eventually. I just have to go somewhere where nobody knows me and get my head straight about what I want to do with my life.
I can understand that. You'll be back.
You sound awfully confident.
I am.
Guess you have reason to be. I'm gonna miss you. Miss you a lot.
Okay. Now I'm gonna take you to the airport, say a temporary goodbye, and I do mean a temporary goodbye. And when we say hello again, we'll take it from there.